Right now I'm machining down a piece of rod to rebuild the shifting forks. And you can see what those are going to look like if you go back to, if you haven't seen it yet, the previous video where I showed some of the original catalog pages for this job. So, that's what's going on. You know, I've got a follower rest for this lathe. But the problem with that is that it's not for this lathe. It's actually, it came with the lathe when I bought the lathe, but I believe that, doing further research, that the follower rest itself that I've got is actually for a 9-inch or a 10-inch south bend and not for an Atlas. And I don't have any provision to mount it. But, you know, it sticks to the follower that I have, the south bend follower. I don't think it's ever been mounted or used. If anybody's got a south bend out there that happens to have, for some reason with it, an Atlas follower and you want to make a trade, let me know. Because it would come in handy doing this long skinny rod here for the shifting forks on my Canedy Otto. Anyhow, see you in the next clip. You know, I'm a big fan of repurposing and recycling and, you know, just getting as much use out of something as you can. But this is cheap even for me. Homemade steel wool, anybody? You know, I'm going to hold on to that and I might use that for something. Okay, we're just taking a couple of spring cuts now. Because this rod is long and skinny. And we're going to try and get it, well, as straight as we can, you know. It's not a high precision part exactly, but we're going to make it as nice as we can. So this rod actually was, here's the other one where I got it. This was a handle on some sort of a store display, and you know, sometimes those displays, if you go behind stores and stuff and they throw them out, sometimes you get pretty good metal out of there. This stuff doesn't machine really great, but for the application that we're using it for, it's going to be just fine. You know, I'm a big fan of repurposing and recycling and, you know, just getting as much use out of something as you can. But this is cheap even for me. Homemade steel wool, anybody? You know, I'm going to hold on to that and I might use that for something. Okay, we're just taking a couple of spring cuts now. Because this rod is long and skinny. And we're going to try and get it, well, as straight as we can, you know. It's not a high precision part exactly, but we're going to make it as nice as we can. So this rod actually was, here's the other one where I got it. This was a handle on some sort of a store display, and you know, sometimes those displays, if you go behind stores and stuff and they throw them out, sometimes you get pretty good metal out of there. This stuff doesn't machine really great, but for the application that we're using it for, it's going to be just fine. I'm going to show you for a quick moment how I intend to make the loop that goes in this rod here. And I've taken my little Starrett spring calipers here, and we're going to go in. Let's see if I can do this through the camera. Oh, wrong way. That's about right. Okay, so we've got our little Starrett outside calipers set, and we need to find something that is that width to use as a form to bend this loop around. So I've dug this piece of aluminum out of the scrap heap, and that's pretty close. There is some play in this. You know, it's not meant to be tight, it just needs to slide nicely. And actually it would have been a little bit tighter, but the closest drill bit I had, I didn't have a reamer to go in there. It just happened to be that size, and I went ahead and drilled it out because this was all packed full of paint and stuff, and I tried to file it. And I didn't want to go back and try and skim a little bit off of this after I'd finished it, because it was hard enough to get this long skinny rod machined true as it is. So, and like I said earlier, that's not exactly the easiest machining steel, probably never meant to be machined. So we're going to get this in the vise. We're going to use this as our form tool to get the proper width on the loop, and then that'll get us very close, and then we can just slightly tweak that loop to either bend that out or bend that in to take up some play in here and just give it a little bit of friction so that it doesn't vibrate out of position. I don't think that's going to be a big problem, but, well, let's not allow that to be a problem. Anyhow, we've got our torch back here, and you can't tell by now, I like my old tools. That's the torch we're going to use. Now I recently got it running again, and I'll do a video actually with regards to how I made the pump seal in here, because what I actually did was I converted this over to use an O-ring for the seal instead of a leather cup. So probably in the next shot or in the next video, we're gonna go ahead and fire this old puppy up. We're gonna get this stuff in the vise here, and we're gonna heat some metal up, and we're gonna shape it. Yeah, old hat. And you thought my screwdriver was a death trap. Yeah, gets going after a few minutes. Alright, we're about to heat this bar up and bend it. Now, for obvious reasons, using this and trying to do this, I unfortunately will not be able to film, but, well, you'll see the results. Okay, we're just a portion of the way through our bend right now, and you see I've changed position in the vise. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hold this with a pair of pliers. This is a cheapy giveaway Allen wrench they give you with IKEA kind of crap to assemble. And we're going to put that in because it's the right width. We're going to put that in there to complete the bend and to ensure that we do not close this up too much and have to go back and do really much, if any, tweaking at all. Alright, see you in the next clip. And here we are. We'll wait for it to cool a bit, and then we'll go check the fit and do any little bit of necessary tweaking that we need to do. As you can see, I left it slightly wide so that I can pinch it in a little bit if I need to. So, see you in the next clip. By the way, on a short note, these torches, they're great and they're perfectly safe, very handy. I like the way it stands here. I can set it in different places. Shorter, I think more stable than the propane torches are. Yeah, get yourself one of these and redo it. They're a little more troublesome to use and they might be a little bit scary at first, but you know, you fill up your drip pan here and you light it up outside and you preheat it, and then once that goes out, just take the lighter to it, light it up like any other old torch, and man, they burn great and they put out a good little bit of heat too. Alright. Okay, moment of truth. I just slid it in here. The other end actually is still hot, but I couldn't wait. So let's see here. That's close. But if you remember, I did leave this a little bit wide. So we'll take this back over, tweak it, and then we'll try it again. Alright, with just a little tweaking of ice, here we go. And I left things a bit long so I could trim it up based on our photograph here to make it look right. You know, that shouldn't go all the way that way. That should be. Let's see from this angle. And let's compare it there. We're a little bit long, but that's okay because I don't want to be having to grab a little tiny nub to shift the belt over to the idler. You know, I would like to have it out about that much, and then pull it out about that much. So, and I maybe put a little length of safety chain on there so you can just reach under and pull it out. Also, alternatively, I thought of bending this up at a 90-degree angle so you'd have more of a, not sure what to call it, something to grab instead of grabbing it this way. But it's still hot. But yeah, so that's the simple part right there. Next we'll turn our attention to fabricating up the actual shifting forks themselves, which will need to look something like that. So I'm thinking I'll machine these two collars, and then I'll cut this out of some plate, and then I've got a welder who lives around the corner. I'm going to take it over to him and I'm going to have him weld that together and yeah, braze it in, or no, well, not braze it in, but weld it in real good and fill it in so I've got some meat to work with. I'm going to come in with a file, maybe with the grinder, and I'll smooth that all out so it looks like one nice cast piece. And when that's finished, you probably never know the difference. Alright. Well, thanks for watching. And like, comment, or subscribe for more. Have a nice day.